a while back I've embarked on a very ambitious project of making the ultimate workout wardrobe. Well, all those garments are finally done. I had planned 4 different garments for my ultimate workout wardrobe. First, a pair of leggings. Secondly, a tank top with a built-in bra. And the third project, a zipped up hoodie with stripes. And last but not least, a running t-shirt with mesh insert and a zipper pocket. So let's talk about all those 4 garments, and we're going to start with the one that I'm wearing on top here. Yes, the tank top with the built-in bra. This is the pattern that I've drafted myself. In fact, all 4 garments are patterns that I've drafted myself, and this is how it looks. As you can see, it has a suplex fabric here that's great for moisture transportation. It has gathers here that is a bit full around the tummy, and that's what I enjoy, because I find worker clothes, as I get a bit older, I don't like them being too tight. So I decided to draft something that has a bit of width around the tummy, but it's not loose all the way. So if you do downward facing dogs and stuff like that, jumping, it has a cuff that keeps the top in shape. As for the top in the back, it has mesh inserts in the built-in bra, and also it's covered by fold over elastic. And this project is actually something I've done before. I've done a yoga top which is very similar, so I pretty much knew how it was. However, as we all know, not all things goes to plan. So for instance, in this case, with the mesh in the back, I have just recently bought a pair of Kai scissors. Those are super sharp, so good advice for you is not to have such excellent sharp scissors in the proximity of delicate fabrics, because when I had pretty much done the entire top, I noticed a hole, because I had accidentally managed to, when I put the scissor away, to cut a tiny little hole, so I had to hand sew it together, and that was a bit of a bummer. I mean, I could cry about it, and I probably did, but I decided, well, I have to just swallow it, because I put so much work into this top, I can't quit it now. So I just hand stitched it, and now fingers crossed that it will hold up. I think it will do. So that was my first garment, and secondly, I did a pair of leggings, and these leggings are in fact something that is a development of a leggings pattern that I've drafted and changed in many different ways. So I knew I wanted to have something that has a lot of functionality to it, and it's 2 different fabrics, a black and a white grey, that it has some sort of a pattern. And I also have 3 pockets on these leggings, 2 side pockets, one with a cover that you can fold over, and another one is open, and the third one, which is I think I'm most proud about, is that I've constructed a waistband pocket that is big enough to fit a large cell phone. Yes, that took a bit of a figuring out to understand the construction of that, but once it's done, well, I think it works brilliantly. Third up is the running t-shirt. Yes, as I talked about before, I want to have tops that are a bit more loose fitting, that isn't too tight. So I did this with just a tad bit of ease, and it's 2 different fabrics. A moisture transporting fabric is from Stuff and Steel, which also the leggings fabrics are from. And in the front it looks like a plain t-shirt, but the thing is, it happens a lot in the back. So in the back there's a round mesh insert, there's a zip pocket, and also again the zip pocket was quite a bit fiddly to figure out, because I have used an industrial method for how to insert that zipper pocket. It's a brilliant construction, but it's a bit fiddly. It was the first time that I really dissected it, and I think it turned out well, but it took me about 4 or 5 hours to actually nail this technique, so that took a lot of time. But the most painful thing about this top was the neckline binding. I've bought a Coverstitch machine recently, the Genome Cover Pro. I had a previous one before, and this one has a tape binder attachment, so you can, in theory, make beautiful neckline ribbing, and that works well if the ribbing is firm and preferably in cotton. But if you add in slinky, silky workout fabric and try to make this like a flat neckline without the fabric twisting when you're top stitching it, well, that was an absolute nightmare. I mean, I'm not kidding you. I redid this neckline 4 or 5 times, doing it over and over again, and I was sort of losing it and starting to imagine using different type of techniques to cover this, and then I did it again and it worked out okay. But with my standards it's not perfect because it is a little bit loose here, because I stretched it out a bit because I was so focused, trying to sew straight, that it was just too much. So that was a bit of a mishap with this one, and I still don't feel that I have really managed this attachment, but hopefully with more practice it will get better. So this is my fourth and final garment, a zip-up hoodie with stripes. This fabric is cotton, and it's a bit like a French terry, similar but not exactly the same, so it has a different kind of surface, but it looks quite classy, I think. However, aligning stripes in it's not the easiest task in the world, but when you also mix in a zipper, then you get a lot of problem, at least I have, because as we all know, the feed dogs on the sewing machine, they sort of do little things. So this I spent basically an entire evening basting, trying, just to make sure that these align. But I think by now I'm about 90% happy, and that's good enough for me, because if I had tried to make this to align exactly, it would have driven me nuts and ruined the entire weekend. So I trust myself not to go into that dark place. But let's talk now about the fun stuff. As you can see, I've done my cuffs with thumb-hole method. This is a great method, and I also have a tutorial for that here on YouTube so that you can check out. And also I've done ties here, eyelets, a hoodie because I love it. It looks like this. It's also lined because I wanted it to look pretty. And another thing I'm happy about is the welt pockets. Yes, again, doing this on knits with stripes is not the easiest task, but with my sort of new approach to sewing, where I am meticulous with my prep work, I think I managed to make this pretty okay. So that was my ultimate workout wardrobe. I would say that all in all I am very happy about how they turned out, especially as always I had tons and tons of struggles, and I went into a bit of a dark place sometimes, which I tend to do when things aren't going as I plan. But I actually pulled it through, and I think that all my 4 garments is pretty close to the sort of original vision that I had, which, well, that makes me happy. So if you want to see more about me and check out all the activewear I've done and tons of tutorials, you can check out my blog, thelaststitch.com. And also, if you want to see more videos from me, well, please hit subscribe. Until next time, bye bye.